expectations bring forth frustrations because
Did you
they're
mean
just...
to make that rhyme? I didn't know you was a rapper. Or Dr. Seuss, whichever. If you cared about me, you'd get home on time.
It's like a volcano. They eventually just erupt.
Throwing the dishes in the sink and be like, the F, I'm supposed to be doing this all the time?
We can continue growing, you know? I mean...
20s were fun, parts of it, but I am glad not to be naive like that anymore.
So it's Friday night, and partner A says, hey, I'm going out with my friends to see a movie at 8 o'clock. And they just leave it at that. Partner A leaves. Now partner B feels, movie's about 2 hours long. Should probably be home about 10:30. 10:30 comes and goes, and no partner A. 11 o'clock goes and passes. 11:30 now. Partner A shows up, and yeah, that's what partner B is doing. And to partner A, it seems that partner B is yelling at him, unknown why. Why are you so late? What happened to you? Are you cheating on me? Mm-hmm. And the cycle begins. So we'll start out. Is this argument about being late, or is it about something else?
I don't know. It just depends on how you see it. It's like, what happened before that partner A left the house?
Yeah. Just wanted to hang out with friends.
Yeah.
And now all of a sudden it has turned into something else. It seems partner B had an expectation of what time to be back, but did partner A share that expectation?
Right. Partner A is probably just happy that they're going out and expecting to have fun wherever they're going.
Got to see some old friends and had a good fun time, watched a good movie, and now is coming home to an angry partner and doesn't really know why.
Yeah.
No. So we mentioned expectations. So expectations is defined as a strong belief that something will happen or be the case in the future, or simply a belief that someone will or should do a particular something. Yeah. So expectations sometimes, most of the time, are self-created. I mean, it's something that begins at an early part of life.
Right. Well, where are they originating?
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
I mean, expectations are always rooted in your gender, whatever you may be, female, male, binary, the way you were raised. Was it a parent household? Were you in foster care? So it's rooted in all of that. What else can it be rooted with? What affects expectations?
I mean, society, history, culture, family,
culture's big, man.
Culture is very big. So is society, because there's so many different sub-societies within your life. I mean, there could be school and work and home and just your friends. Like it could all be different. But expectations are being taught at a young age. You start to learn the cause and effect and of things, and that turns into now, well, it happened last time, so maybe it should happen again.
Right. And then, are they really fighting about the time that they got back? Is that truly the topic? Is that truly the root of that argument, or is the person really saying something more like, if you cared about me, you'd get home on time, or why aren't you coming home at a respectable hour? It could be something like that too.
Yeah. What are you doing? What could have happened from the end of the movie till when you got home? Mm-hmm. What were you really up to? Right. Because sometimes fear can dictate how you think about things and how you expect them to turn out. And you hear stories about someone cheating, so therefore, and you kind of create it yourself.
Right. So whatever it is that you're truly fighting about, that's the real fight.
No.
Right.
Yeah.
And so, but instead of digging deep, a lot of couples will just be on the surface, riding, the top level about that just right on the surface. But you got to dig deep for those kinds of things.
No.
Because, nobody walks into a relationship and have the same expectations. So
expectations, like unspoken expectations, can turn into silent resentment in a relationship. It's just something that builds and builds, and usually the smaller it is, the longer it takes to build, but it will build, and before you know it, it becomes a big issue.
Yeah, that's why you have to talk about these expectations early on.
Yeah, for sure. You have to talk about them, because if you just think about them, it's a one-sided conversation.
So here, let me give an example of something that you could talk about before you make that big final commitment with rings and everything. Would you like to have children?
Oh, yeah.
Like some people don't even have that conversation. And then you marry someone, and then one is expecting to become parents in the first 3 years, and the other one's like, what? I love our life, just the two of us. So,
Or even beyond that, like how many people want kids right away, and how many people say, hey, let's just enjoy ourselves, enjoy each other for a few years before we start having kids.
Well, someone could say, how could you not know I wanted kids? I'm always playing with kids. I'm always, how I play with your nieces and nephews. But you can't assume. You can't assume.
Right. Especially people who come from a large family, that may have tipped them into not wanting a large family. So you can't just say, well, if they have 10 uncles and aunts, they'll definitely want kids, because that's not necessarily how it works. So,
no. And when you have that disagreement or expectations that weren't met, you start to get distance between you.
Oh, yeah.
And you drift.
And we're not saying expectation. I think a lot of this comes from people are trying to anticipate, and they want to be right. Oh, well, sometimes I expect him to come home because I know him, and he's going to come home. Yeah, but what if he doesn't come home at the time you think? Now it becomes an issue. Why? Because he's never done it before. Don't leave anything to chance, so to speak.
Right.
So what happens, say, guy comes home and decides to sit down and watch the game every night he comes home because he loves baseball. He knows his wife understands that, and now she starts becoming over-functioning and now doing everything to let him watch the game.
Yeah. Well, that's a trap.
Oh, yeah. It's a trap, because what may be fine once or twice isn't necessarily fine 100 times in a row or 300 times in a row, because those little buildups that we talked about before now just build up, and it's like a volcano. They eventually just erupt.
Yeah. A lot of times, and this has happened between you and I, one of us will pick up the slack, fill in the gap, and the other person's just going, oh, that's so cool that he did that. That was great. And then you do it again. And it becomes what we talked about on in the last episode about you end up inheriting that role or that job.
Yes.
And so now I expect you to always do it, or you expect me to always do it. And so now I'm over functioning, like you said, and that's a lot to carry depending on what it is. And you know, you may not think it's a lot.
Yeah.
You may think, oh, they got it because they've been doing it. But it becomes a lot for a person when they have to hold something for too long.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
So the real question is, before that happens, like, how do you reset it?
I think someone's got to say something. Either one, right? Someone's got to say, baby, thank you so much for doing that. Are you okay doing that? Or do you think, is it something we should share? Mm-hmm. Or the person who's doing the over functioning to be like, baby, I didn't mind doing that, but you think that we could share this?
Yeah.
It's tough for me to carry this. I don't mind if I do this for a while. How long do you think? Or whatever is the thing. But if you're talking about like what you were giving the example of handling something because you like to relax and watch your games during college basketball season or something like that.
I know.
But you have to talk about it because otherwise the other person's going to be like throwing the dishes in the sink and be like, the F I'm supposed to be doing this all the time. And it reminds me of like what I just did at work, where I had to, on my day job, where I had to draw some lines. And a lot of women who overfunction at home, they tend to overfunction everywhere. So I'm specifically speaking to women right now because I do coach women separately. And I have a digital program called Reset Foundations. And this is where you find out, where do I overfunction? Where am I carrying more than I should? Where do I always agree to do all of this? Like, why do I end up having so much on my plate? And you figure out, like, why is this happening? How do I stop it? Where is it that I'm making this quick decision to do these things? And then I don't notice it until I'm completely exhausted already.
All right.
Right. So if women are interested or women who could benefit from that, you can learn more about it on Instagram. There's a link there.
Yeah. And when you eliminate some of those terrible cycles, I mean, it's just such a weight lifted off and you can really notice the difference.
Yes. So it's about noticing, and you learn about you, right? So, but when you do notice, then you have to communicate it, like we said. So like, what's an emotional expectation that I could communicate to you, which I have many, many times in the past, has been, hey, hi, I'm here.
Yeah.
Pay attention to me. I miss you.
Spend time. Yeah.
I feel alone.
And it doesn't only have to be women, guys. Like guys need to feel close to. So,
yeah.
And I mean, there's just, emotional is just one thing. I mean, there could be just practical things. Like, hey, I know it's usually my job to clean the whole house, but since we've had kids, like it's become a lot and I would love some help.
Mm-hmm.
So things like that, you can always get them mixed up at times and think one is the other or vice versa where, I need time. Okay, well, we clean the house together. No, it's a little different.
Yeah. But, I think when you are asking for help, you really are looking for a connection.
Yeah.
For your partner to understand what you're going through.
No. For sure, because a relationship is an ever-growing thing, like a plant. It doesn't stop growing. It's always trying to expand and grow. So if you find yourself saying, oh, well, they changed, I don't like how they are, maybe you need to update your expectations of them. Their needs may have changed. I mean, not everybody can stay 20 years old forever.
Thank you.
We can continue growing, I mean,
20s were fun, parts of it, but I am glad not to be naive like that anymore. No offense to 20-year-olds.
No.
You're doing a lot of growing in every stage. But,
Yeah.
and
I mean,
was fumbling.
people evolve.
Yeah.
And relationships evolve. And your job is to help keep it on the plus side. Relationships can definitely evolve to the negative. And that's when you don't put the work in. Relationships are work.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can't keep saying, oh, you're not the person I met.
Yeah.
Thank God.
Yeah.
You know, like, I'm changing, and that's okay, but that's makes it exciting too.
Of
You know,
course.
the person is growing.
Nobody wants to stay the same person. They may try, but things happen in life, and before you know it, you change.
Right. And if you don't realize that that person is growing, or your expectations have changed, or you don't even know what their current expectations are, if you don't communicate it, they can't meet it. And like you said, you have the resentment, and then you have the withdrawal.
Yeah.
Where people say, this is just how it is.
Yeah, the loop or the cycle is just it's expectation, no communication about that expectation, so it becomes unmet. That equals the resentment, which turns into withdrawal, and you just keep repeating until you blow up. And a lot of couples are just stuck there now.
Yeah, that cycle will create an actual hole, and you'll fall through it and out of your relationship, like, you know. And this is where people get stuck for years, or long periods of time. For you and I, Steve, it was years, and I think we didn't complete the whole thing. I think what we did do was we did communicate. We did try to connect, although we failed multiple times at meeting the expectations or making the right decision, but we didn't stop trying.
Yeah, and you know what? That's part of the growing as well.
Yeah.
What's that one business guy say?
Which one?
Every failure you have brings you closer to success.
Yeah.
Because you're just eliminating any way to fail.
Mm-hmm.
So
Exactly.
So when it comes to expectations, I mean, the way to change them from expectations is to change them into agreements. What we mean by that is expectations are silent. They're something you come up with in your own head, okay? And agreements are spoken, okay? And they are agreed upon, okay? Expectations create pressure. There are heavy burdens that come with certain expectations, because not all expectations are from your partner. It could be society or something like that. The being a man is a great pressure if that's not how you are naturally,
Yeah.
But agreements create clarity, okay? Because if it hasn't been said clearly, it's not an agreement, okay? Both sides have to discuss it. Hey, I think you should be back from that movie at 10:30. Well, I haven't hung out with my friends for a while. I was thinking of hanging out a little bit longer than 10:30. Oh, okay. Whatever, just text me, 11:30. I was hoping to see you before I fall asleep. Okay. Sounds good to me. I'll keep you up to date. And now it's an agreement, and it has changed the entire night and hopefully the relationship.
Right. And what you just said is just, it's applied to everything. It doesn't have to be just in your romantic relationship. These are things that you have with your friends.
At work.
Woo! At work. Come on, guys. I think everybody who is watching, listening, has had people at work expect something from them, and you did not agree to it.
Yeah.
I mean, I had that experience, and I wrote all about it in my Grace's letter. I really dumped it all out there in my letter. It was, I dropped it yesterday. It's called, I filed at 4:30. Now, what did I file? I filed a leave of absence because my job was expecting me to do 1, 2, 3, 4, you name it, on my plate, and I never agreed to it, or it was never. Anyway, read about it, and so you could see if you relate yourself. But you can find that also on Instagram. I write about things about expectations in your relationships, usually for women, but I think men can learn something from it too. I've had some men comment on it on LinkedIn. So.
Oh, definitely. I mean, guys, if you can get inside women's heads whenever you can, it's there to help you learn, you know?
Yeah.
So, yeah, you're not frustrated because your partner is wrong. You know, expectations bring forth frustrations because
Did
they're
you mean
just,
to make that rhyme?
Did it rhyme?
Expectations bring forth frustrations.
Oh, okay. Hey.
I didn't know you was a rapper. Or Dr. Seuss, whichever.
I'll take Dr. Seuss. He's got to be rich somewhere, right?
Yes.
His company. Well, it's just unrealistic, and it doesn't even have to be updated with what is current in your relationship or your job or anything like that. The work is just putting forth the effort and noticing it and staying in the present.
That's
Yeah.
right. That's right.
So
On and on and on.
say what you expect. Ask what they expect. Make sure it's realistic. And then turn it into an agreement. And then continue to revisit it as life changes. I mean, it's throughout your entire relationship. It doesn't stop.
Yeah. And remember, it's not always a communication problem. It will most likely always be an expectation problem. So until you start telling the truth about that, nothing's going to change.
That's right. We'll catch you on the next episode.